practical patriots and practical preppers. It's a gross aus Texas. Hey folks, Johnny Practical Nurse. So I figured y'all have asked me enough questions about my Chinese MAK 90 that I decided to just make a separate video about it altogether. I've had this thing since about 1989, 1990. Cost $175. Bought from a mom and pop shop that is no longer in existence right here in Lampasas, Texas. So yes, it's been modified a little bit, changed over, whatever you want to call it, and I want to just go over it with you and show you some of the things that I've done to it. And some of y'all are going to say, man, that guy's crazy. But let's start with the front over here. Okay. For starters, if you remember correctly, the Chinese MAK 90 came over here, did not have a muzzle brake on there, and they cut off the bayonet lug, and they did a few other things to not make them as scary rifles or whatever. So I had this really awesome gunsmith, Mike Kramer, over here, and he's right down the road from me, Kempner, Texas, at the Texas Star Shooting Range. He tack welded this thing on for me. This is a JMAK custom muzzle brake on there. I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact one this is. This came in a box and a trade. This fellow brought some rifles over and said, please put these back together. Anything that's in the box that's left over you can keep, and this was in it. You can look over here, and you can see where there's a weld right there, and there is a weld right there. And he said, if you break that thing off, bring it back. If you don't like it, if you don't like this one, just bring it back and I'll redo it for you. Very inexpensively. Thank you so much, Mike. Awesome job. If you need a gunsmith and you're in the Coppers Cove, Lampasas, Kempner area, get a hold of Mike. Much appreciated. Touched up the barrel a little bit with just some black spray paint to cover up the shiny welds on there. Nothing big, no big deal about that. Really cheapo Amazon light. I don't need a lot of light out here in the sticks, just enough to keep me from stepping on a copperhead or rattler. When I find that at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, someone's trying to hotwire my Jeep or truck, and I just want to get the sneak up on them. Okay? Light can be your friend, but it can also be your enemy. Too much light can give you away. Light and noise discipline, y'all, when you're a homestead defender. This old thing, goodness gracious, Tapco. I want to say I found this on eBay, back when eBay was still cool. It's been on here for years. Comes with a nice little heat shield inside of there. No issues with that whatsoever. A lot of people don't like these synthetic, guards over here, but you know what? It has never caused me any trouble. Let's keep going over here. Now, just kind of let y'all see this. I don't know how you can see it. Sporter. Trust me, it looked like some kind of grotesque hunting version of an AK. Yeah. Not a lot of markings on there. They seem to have grounded something off over here. 7.62 by 39 millimeter semi-auto. As I said, Sporter, not a lot of identifying marks, but there is that right there. Okay. So moving over here, you've seen my videos on this. The AK Master Mount. Now, this is one of the first generations, as I understand it, they came out with. I did have a little problem with it, but I rectified that problem. They have a Gen 2, I believe, now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Master Mount. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a Gen 2 of this now. So, still standard old popsicle style, grip over here. Would I change this out? Yeah, absolutely, money allowing. Now, this right here, don't let your eyes deceive you. This is a Magpul. However, let me explain. I like the Zukov style stocks, but I want it solid. This one over this stock came with a piece that came like this, and I just took my cutoff tool and just cut it off, and I spray painted it green. This thing originally came in the color of plum. I'm not too fond of plum, just FYI. No, I don't know why. Maybe because I just don't see colors very well, but for some reason plum just never did appeal to me. Let me try to do this, okay? This right here has a compartment on it. I'm going to try to do this one-handed. Hold the camera with the other hand. Success. Okay? This right here has got the little compartment that you can store whatever you want in there. If you look carefully, I put an Allen key right there that fits the light mount, and it prevents it from sliding around too much. Of course, as I said, noise and light discipline. Hold, let me see if I can actually do this with my legs here. Hold on. Why does this sound kind of something? Okay, well, let me just turn this around one-handed there. These fingers have paid off, trust me. All right. So let me straddle my Y'all are wondering where I'm at. I'm out here. This is my front yard. I'm serious. You know, it's beautiful out here today. So anyway, again, this is a Magpul stock. I didn't like it. Magpul, if you're listening and you just want my 2 cents, let me flip this back over for a little bit better lighting. Get back over here. As I said, this came with a piece that came from here and went to here. I cut it off. I would beef this up, Magpul, if you're listening. I would beef this up right here across here, make it a little more solid, but no issues. No issues so far. I like this exactly the way it is. I'm not into really folding stocks. Again, it's just a personal preference. All of this out here is a personal preference and just how I like it. Okay, there you have that. Now, for my optic for right now, what I did was I took a UTG Pro and I cut it down. You know, and I've got, of course, my primary arms optic on here. And set that off to a side. Let's flip this rifle over. Show you the other side, explain a few things to you. As I have said, you know, I had some issues with that AK Master mount. It comes with Allen key type of screws on there. Well, I was using blue Loctite, and it would just, because it did not have a muzzle brake on there, it would just shake these things right out of there. And to where the mount was loose and I couldn't get accurate shots. I kept trying to put blue Loctite on there. That didn't work. So a friend of mine who's a mechanic said, Johnny, use red Loctite. And I did, and guess what? It hasn't gone anywhere. Now, I did it. I had to use blue Loctite. Tried blue Loctite so many times that I've actually stripped out the Allen key hole in this one. So I just took my Dremel and cut like a regular screwdriver slot in there. Put the red Loctite on there, and guess what? No problems. This right here, I would love to change out. I'd love to change out to one of the more modern safety levers that's got like the tab right here. But let me show you something where I have an advantage on this. I hope you can see this. I have fingers like E.T. No, no kidding. You know, I have been... That's just weird, okay? But anyway, and I admit it, but I have fingers like E.T. It's not really a problem for me. You know, there you have it. Okay, boom. So would I like a different lever? Yes, absolutely. Anyone who's listening who wants to work with me on that. Anyway, exactly the same. Again, much thanks to Mike for spot welding this on me. We were making jokes. He said, Johnny, it's ugly. I said, it's an AK. I'm not asking it to be the belle of the ball. I want it to be functional. Okay, hold on. Let me put this thing on pause here, and I'm gonna get a tripod so I can show you the innards. Let's have a look under the hood, as my favorite YouTuber Rob Ski says. Very simple, disassembled the same way. Spring. I want y'all to see this bolt carrier now. Hold on. One thing I want to tell y'all about this also is the receiver is thicker than your average AK. My nickname for this AK is Country Girl. Why? Man, she'll eat anything I give her. She's solid. She loves to get in the dirt and the mud. She has fun with that. Look at this bolt carrier group. This is a well-built bolt carrier group. It's very robust, very solid, like a country girl. This rifle is like a country girl. Okay, well endowed. She eats whatever I give her, the whole 9 yards. But this thing is absolutely incredible. If you ever hold a Chinese AK bolt carrier group, you will notice the difference. I mean, this thing is just incredible. I mean, how solid it is and how rugged it is. And this thing is very slick, very smooth. You look at it here, you'll notice, I don't know how well you can see that. Let me try to get this a little closer. This has the double hook. It's got the kind of the double hook system on there. You'll notice I've kind of basically smoothed off. I've got a lot of rounds to this thing, by the way. I have smoothed off the ridges in the hammer. I don't know how well you can see that. But I've smoothed off those ridges, and I'm going to tell you what, this thing is just amazing. Love it, love it, love it. She's taken a lot, chrome line barrel. I mean, I am just truly glad that I bought this thing. Put this thing back together here. Simplicity. Takes whatever junk ammo I feed her. You know, solidly built. Doesn't mind getting in the mud and the whole 9 yards. Just a wonderful rifle. So put this video together just for y'all who are curious about it, asking a lot of questions. If you have any other questions or comments, leave them below. Until I see y'all again, I'm Johnny the Practical Nurse. Out here.